What is happening, Spotlight Nation? Get ready to dive headfirst into the news cycle because it's moving faster than ever, and we've got the absolute latest updates you cannot afford to miss. Today, we're peeling back the curtain on a cinematic collision of titans with the UK premiere interviews for The Roses. We're talking about the dynamic duo of Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman and what happens when their incredible talents collide on screen. Then, we're getting straight to the heart of what it means to navigate fame and the digital world. Cumberbatch and Colman themselves are opening up about their personal experiences with social media and its impact on their mental well-being, sharing some truly candid insights. We're also dissecting a highly anticipated remake that's hitting screens, offering a fresh take on a classic story. We'll get into the critical reception and what makes this new version stand out, or perhaps where it falls short. Finally, we're going behind the scenes with the stars who brought this remake to life, catching up with them as they promote their new project. Buckle up, because this is your essential briefing on what's making waves right now. You're not going to want to miss a single second of this. Make sure you're subscribed and have that notification bell on. A cinematic collision of talent. Get ready for the red carpet buzz surrounding The Roses UK premiere. This highly anticipated film brings together two powerhouse actors, Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman, for what's being hailed as a cinematic collision. Directed by Jay Roach and penned by Tony McNamara, the movie is a dark, comedic reimagining of the classic, The War of the Roses. It delves into the lives of Ivy and Theo Rose, portrayed by Colman and Cumberbatch, a couple whose seemingly perfect life unravels due to career rivalries and deep-seated marital resentments. Their escalating feud transforms into a spectacle of sabotage, wild antics, and shocking confrontations, all delivered with the sharp wit and humor that McNamara is known for, and a supporting cast that includes Andy Samberg, Kate McKinnon, Allison Janney, and Ncuti Gatwa. The film promises a wild ride, exploring the darker side of relationships when ambition and personal lives collide. The premiere itself was a star-studded affair, with interviews capturing the energy and excitement of the cast and crew. Director Jay Roach and his team shared insights into bringing this darkly comic tale to life, highlighting the chemistry between Cumberbatch and Colman as the driving force behind the film's intense narrative. The cast's interviews offer a glimpse into the creative process, the challenges of portraying such complex characters, and their hopes for the audience's reception. The film's release date is set for September 1, 2025, in the UK, with early buzz suggesting a performance that's well worth a watch and a good laugh. The red carpet coverage captured the electric atmosphere, providing fans with a direct connection to the stars and the making of this significant cinematic event. Fans and critics are already buzzing about the performances, particularly the dynamic between Cumberbatch and Colman, anticipating a standout film that balances dark humor with relatable relationship drama. Get ready for a deep dive into the minds of these acclaimed actors. Next, we'll hear directly from Cumberbatch and Colman about their personal struggles with fame and social media. Fragile in the spotlight, Benedict Cumberbatch has opened up about his surprising vulnerability, admitting he's shocked at how fragile he still feels despite years of success in the entertainment industry. Speaking alongside his The Roses co-star Olivia Colman, Cumberbatch, known for his roles in Doctor Strange and The Crown, revealed that the intense scrutiny and public perception, particularly amplified by social media, can be incredibly challenging. He explained that he actively avoids social media platforms because they present an extreme environment where individuals are either idolized or harshly criticized. Cumberbatch expressed concern about a future corporate culture that might obligate individuals to promote their lives and brands online, potentially exacerbating these pressures. Colman, who has intentionally stayed away from the online world, echoed these sentiments, describing herself as very thin-skinned and relying on her husband to shield her from any negative feedback. She advocates for developing a thicker skin, but emphasizes the importance of retaining sensitivity and kindness. Colman, an Academy Award winner for her role in The Favorite, advises young people to avoid social media altogether for a happier life, stating she has never engaged with it. The film The Roses, a satirical black comedy directed by Jay Roach and written by Tony McNamara, explores themes of power imbalance, insecurity, and wounded pride within relationships, prompting questions about the true cost of success and whether it's possible to have it all. Both Cumberbatch and Kallman, who also served as producers, acknowledged that achieving such a balance inevitably comes with sacrifices. They approached the project with immense respect for the original War of the Roses, but aimed to create a distinct, reimagined narrative rather than a direct remake. The film also features a notable cast, including Ncuti Gatwa and Kate McKinnon, and is currently in UK cinemas. Kallman's advice to young people is stark: delete social media for a happier life. But how does this personal reflection compare to the film's critical reception? Now, let's look at what the critics are saying about The Roses. A muted remake. The film The Roses, 2025, directed by Jay Roach and written by Tony McNamara, and based on Warren Adler's novel, aims to capture the dark, satirical essence of its 1989 predecessor, The War of the Roses. However, critics suggest that while the remake boasts solid performances from its lead actors, Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman, it ultimately lacks the biting edge and bleak intensity that made the original a cultural touchstone. The film opens with a promising start, drawing viewers into the seemingly idyllic life of Ivy Colman and Theo Rose Cumberbatch, a chef and an architect, respectively. Their initial connection is passionate, but their marriage, complete with children and a burgeoning restaurant for Ivy, soon becomes a battleground. Cumberbatch's Theo faces career setbacks, leading to him taking on a more dominant and at times harsh parenting role, which clashes with Ivy's approach. The dynamic between the young actors playing their children is praised, though the older versions are noted as less impactful. The supporting cast, including Andy Samberg and Kate McKinnon as the couple's friends, is described as feeling somewhat out of place, with a particular scene involving target practice deemed unnecessary. Jay Roach's direction is seen as sanitizing the material, softening the original's controversial elements and opting for a more ambiguous, less definitive ending. Unlike the original's impactful visual metaphor, this version offers a less clever narrative. The film is characterized by escalating bickering and cruelty, but without the clear, hard-hitting conclusion that gave the 1989 film its point. While there are witty exchanges and dramatic confrontations, the film's tendency to swing between conflict and reconciliation, often described as having a kiss and make-up mentality, dilutes the impact of the central conflict. Performances from Ncuti Gatwa as a waiter and Sunita Mani as a colleague at Ivy's restaurant are highlighted as positive additions, as is Delaney Quinn's energetic portrayal of the young daughter. Cumberbatch and Colman exhibit the required chemistry, though the characters' early harshness makes them difficult to root for, and Ivy's eventual descent to Theo's level diminishes audience sympathy. Allison Janney, as Ivy's lawyer, makes the most of her limited screen time. Ultimately, critics feel that the actors' talents are somewhat underutilized by characters who don't always live up to their potential, especially without the definitive, impactful ending that defined the original. The nearly 2-hour runtime is noted for meandering, and the constant cycle of fighting and making up creates a sense of whiplash. The ending, perceived as test audience pleasing rather than a natural narrative conclusion, leaves much to be desired. Despite strong performances, the film is criticized for softening the source material's edge and offering an ambiguous ending. While the critics have weighed in, the stars are out promoting their new film. Let's see how they looked and what they had to say at the recent BBC Studios event. Promotional style and substance. Actors Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch were spotted at the BBC Studios, looking every bit the part as they promoted their new film, The Roses. The movie, a remake of the 1989 classic, The War of the Roses, is set to release on August 29th and is based on the 1981 novel of the same name. Colman, 51, and Cumberbatch, 49, appeared in high spirits, sharing laughs while gathered under an umbrella outside the Leicester Square building. Colman sported a chic, oversized pinstriped blazer paired with matching cropped trousers and stylish stiletto heels, accessorized with a black clutch. Cumberbatch presented a smart appearance in a white shirt layered with a t-shirt, complemented by black tapered trousers. Directed by Jay Roach, known for the Austin Powers comedies, and scripted by Tony McNamara, the writer behind Poor Things, the film delves into the lives of Theo and Ivy Rose. They are depicted as a picture-perfect couple with successful careers, children, and an enviable sex life. But beneath this facade lies a simmering resentment and competition that ignites when Theo's career falters. The film promises a dark divorce comedy, following the couple's increasingly bitter separation, which escalates into exaggerated resentment and hatred, much like the original starring Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner. Filming took place in both Salcombe, Devon, and Los Angeles. Reports from the set suggested potential friction between the lead actors, with Cumberbatch's commitment to method acting contrasting with Colman's more direct approach. An insider noted that while Cumberbatch sought deep character connection, Colman preferred a more straightforward, efficient process, which at times led to a perceived lack of chemistry, especially in a comedy. However, a spokesperson for Cumberbatch downplayed these reports. The new version is described as a reimagining, aiming to carve its own niche rather than being a direct copy. The ensemble cast also includes new Doctor Who star Ncuti Gatwa and comedians Andy Samberg and Kate McKinnon. The film's plot centers on the challenges of maintaining a perfect family life while navigating career pressures and personal ambitions, questioning the sacrifices inherent in balancing a high-flying career, marriage, and parenthood. Colman and Cumberbatch brought their A-game in style and demeanor while promoting their new film. That's a wrap on our deep dives for today. But before you go, let's quickly recap the headlines. And that's a wrap on today's whirlwind tour of what's making headlines. We saw the premiere of The Roses with its star-studded cast, heard candid reflections from Cumberbatch and Colman on fame and social media, analyzed the critical reception of the Roses remake, and caught up with the stars during their promotional tour. Don't forget to like this video if you found it informative, subscribe to Tom's Spotlight for more of the hottest news, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Let us know your thoughts on The Roses in the comments below, and follow us on all social media platforms for even more exclusive content.